So today's topic, a little bit different. Maybe some of my German viewers have seen similar videos to this. And maybe you've seen some of my videos as well. Doesn't matter if you speak German or not. Sometimes, or at least in the beginning of my YouTube videos, I was talking a lot about my favorite grinds. And it became pretty fast clear that I don't like, or I'm not the biggest fan of Scandi grinds. But that has changed. Actually, it has, which is great. Today's video is about this particular model from William Collins. It is, let's see if we can bring it, get sharp. I don't know. It's the Woodman Classic. The Woodsman's Classic from William Collins is an awesome knife, and maybe you've already realized it. It is based on Morse Kochanski's suggestion how a perfect knife should look like, or a perfect Woodsman knife should look like. There are some differences, but let's start with the knife. Again, a fantastic blade. But why I have changed my mind when this blade arrived at my house? It is because of the spine and the thickness of the spine. This is 1/8 of an inch, so a bit more than 3 millimeters, which is thin enough. The blade width is good, and then you have also William Collins 11 to 12 degree grind per side, Scandi grind. That means, of course, this blade has splitting abilities. Yeah, it's a Woodman knife, but this grind, the 11 or 12 degrees per side, this will also do tasks or camp chore tasks or food prep tasks or whatever. And maybe not like a flat grind or a high saber grind, but 1,000 times better than you have seen it on other knives like the Mora Garberg. Yeah, which is in my opinion nothing else than just a wood splitting machine, but not really, in my opinion, comfortable and good and versatile knife. It is just something to split wood. But I don't want to rant about other knife makers. There are some changes to the suggestion of Morse Kochanski, and this is actually a good thing, in my opinion, because you can see it here on the handle. The shape on the handle is a bit different than suggested, and on Morse Kochanski's suggestions, there should be a pommel plate in the back to crush nuts or to hammer on things. I'm pretty happy that William Collins stick with his extended pommel here, because it's or you can also crush things like nuts or whatever, but it has a sharp spine and you can use it as a scraper. Yeah, you don't need to only use your back of the spine, you can use the pommel as well to do that, and it has material enough to do it. You can also, of course, remove the leather strap here if it is in the way, to have easier access to the pommel. And again, the handles from William Collins are phenomenal. So of course a blade is, or a knife is, needs to have a good blade. Yeah, whatever purpose you have in mind for your knife, it needs to have a good blade. If you need a versatile knife, you should have the blade for it. If you need to have a wood splitting knife, it should have the blade for it. But the handle, never underestimate the effect of a handle when using a knife, because that's exactly the piece of course, or the part of the knife which you're holding the whole time in your hand, and needs to be secure and comfortable. Because when you're getting tired, or your hand is getting tired, or your hand is cramping, then your knife becomes insecure, because you're not able anymore to hold it secure in your hands. So about the specs, I'm not going to tell you around how long exactly the blade is, around 4 inches, something like that. How much it weighs. I will put you William Collins' website down in the description box, and some of his dealers as well, where you can find the Woodsman Classic. It's always the same with William Collins. He's busy, which is at least a good thing, I guess. So if you want to order a knife, just ask the dealers directly if they have some in stock. Sometimes that happens. If not, order them or pre-order them. It's really worth to wait these 6 or 7 or 8 months. Yeah, I know for some of you it's a long time, but you get a good quality handcrafted knife. Yeah. To show you what you can do with this, I'm just looking for my stick here. Just give me a second. My stick. This is 2-year-old, really dry pine, and I will bring you another perspective, and I can show you what this knife was able to do. So here's the other perspective. As I mentioned a couple of seconds ago, really dry and well-edged pine. Again, WC Woodsman's classic. Just some things, you've seen them trying to do some fine curls. By the way, there's different techniques when it comes to making feather sticks. So this is one. I'm just pushing the blade down. I'm not using the curvature of this knife or of this grind. I'm just pushing it down. That's one way to do it. Yeah. Another way is just to start here at the end of the blade and then moving it forward to the tip while pushing it down. And the third is just other way around, from the tip to the end of the blade. In my experience, you are doing the finest curls, or you can do the finest curls when going from the tip to the back. But I think that's just based on preference and experience, and yeah, exactly. So feather sticks, as you can see, as expected, really, no problem. Yeah. Fine feathers, no worries. The spine is sharp. I think I don't need to show it, but I do so. So you can see it here. Fine dust. So also no worries. Let's try a notch. So just a simple one. Yeah, again, really dry wood. And the Scandi really bites. Yeah, this knife is made in Nitro V. I'm a big fan of William Collins ABL, but to be honest, this Nitro V, maybe I like it a bit better than the ABL because, and maybe William Collins would say, no, you're wrong, you idiot, but in my opinion, or at least how I sharpen my knives, it feels a little bit, how to say, sharper. So it feels like bites more, yeah. And as you can see, yeah, so the blade is flexing on the wood, and it's still sharp after that. Here we go. Yeah. No need to say. Also, what is really good is it is a fine tip, but strong enough not to be concerned. Yeah, you can hold your knife like this, so you have not enough curves and round parts at this knife to really take it in different grip positions. I having this way, I'm not concerned to slip away because again, this is a really comfortable and therefore safe and secure knife. To the tip, and here we go. You really can do the task. Clean your notches, no issue at all. Or just doing your fine works, no problem. So nothing unusual. You know, you've all seen this in other videos that people are doing feathers and making notches and saying, listen, this knife is pretty sharp. So hopefully your knife is sharp, but that isn't the criteria for a good maker, that the knife is sharp. You can sharpen it by yourself in the worst case scenario. A good criteria is how long holds this knife the edge, and even more important is how easy you can bring back that edge. But I can promise you this knife holds pretty well an edge, and you can bring it back almost instantaneously just using some leather or something like a sharpening stone just to touch it up, and this is razor sharp again. So with being that said, that knife changed my mind, because again, the spine is thin enough not to be too bulky. The grind is perfectly done in 11 to 12 degrees per side. The handle is that comfortable. So from my side, this knife stays exactly where it is with me. And I'm really looking forward to use this in coming adventures. So if you are thinking about to get a knife and you want to spend maybe $1 or $2 more, or you have just understood that buy once, cry once makes sense for you, really recommend this knife. Just give it a try. Yeah, even if you have to wait 6 to 7 to 8 months. It is worth the wait. Just give it a try. I promise you.